Fantastic. Oh, I see people. I see names I know. I see names I don't know, which that's also great. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Uh, Hi, Janet. So nice to
Hello.
see you.
Yeah, nice to see
Um,
you, Richard.
Welcome. My name is Richard McCarthy. Um, I am here, digitally here with all of you, but in particular with Manuel Caramucci, who is with the World Farmers Markets Coalition uh, 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 International Secretariat in Rome. And I welcome you to this um, technical meeting, excuse me, technical meeting for our World Farmers Markets Coalition campaign, Farmers Markets Count. Uh, if you can see in the chat, if you're able to access your chat, we are providing simultaneous translation in both Spanish and Italian. So if you go to the bottom of your Zoom account and choose um, I don't see it on mine, but choose the interpretation. You might have to choose the more document for the interpretation if it doesn't show up automatically, but you can choose the language for Spanish. And correct me if I'm wrong, but for Italian, Manuel, you choose French, right?
Yes.
Yes. So just pretend that French says Italian. Um, we have slotted an hour for this meeting, but we also know that that is overly ambitious because what we will be doing in today's meeting is very specific and technical um, as it pertains to setting up your own Canva account. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, by all means, you can put them in the chat. I also wanted to highlight that Julia Maggi, who is our communications director at the International Secretariat, is also here. She will be leading a much larger, broader meeting on, I believe it is Monday, the 14th. So almost, just in a few days, Monday the 14th at 1400 hours Central European Standard Time next week about the first leg of the campaign on biodiversity. And if I can just give a quick overview, I know many of you have signed up for the campaign or are about to sign up for the campaign. This is where we will be joining forces from market to market around the world, conducting a count, a census of our markets on 3 key dates: in May for World Biodiversity Day, in July for World Rural Development Day to count farmers, and in particular the demographics of our farmers, and on World Food Day in October. In order to do that, we are very excited that we will be providing you with the tools of us using the same counting metrics, easy counting metrics for our markets, and then the means to broadcast what findings that we have in our own markets for our own communities, as well as collectively. And in order to do that, we are certainly finding that the Canva tool is the most useful, simplest, and most widespread tool in order to do this, to share the artwork, that you'll be able to use the templates that we're designing so that you can fill in your name and hopefully make it easier. But what we also learned when surveying our farmers market members is that they are indeed using the Canva tool, because for nonprofit organizations, it is free to set up your account. This is what Manuel will be helping to walk you through those steps. We also find that it's just a very good tool. We're not sponsors, endorsers of the tool, but we have found to use it. We may use a number of different communications tools, design tools, but for the undercapitalized network of markets that we are, that this is a very good way to express your brand and to quickly create useful communication assets on the run. And this campaign has a very clear brand. We've got colors, we've got graphics that you can use, so that the goal is that as we lead up to the first leg of the journey, the World Biodiversity Day, that the social media accounts will start to look like, my gosh, there's something going on because we're all using a related brand. And the means with which we share that is for you to set up your own Canva account, and you'll be able to access our tools. And if you're not currently using Canva, I hope we find that this is useful to you, because it is a way to really look bigger, more well-funded, and communicating in a manner that is impressive to the world. And with that, I'd love to be able to introduce you to Manuel, who will, I think, be sharing his screen in order to sort of share with you what this looks like when you go onto the Canva site and set up your account.
Thank you, Richard. So I'll start sharing my screen. Okay, so this is the Canva page. I will drop the link in the chat so that you can all access it. So let's start with the creation of your account and or the login if you already have an account. So for the sign up, you can there are obviously all the types of ways to log in with Google, Facebook, email, Apple, and whatever you prefer. So I'll try with a new email. With Google. Just a second.
Manuel, does it usually take this long?
No.
Is this because we are enjoying the Wi-Fi
Yeah.
services in our office?
Okay, so okay, here we are. So once we log in, it won't be valid. Okay. So once we get in, they will ask us if we want to try Canva Pro gratis. Obviously, it will ask to enter our credit card, and it will get the money at the end of the demo. So in this case, I will not do this, and I will show you how to create a nonprofit account for the nonprofit associations. So,
can I stop you there, Manuel? So
yes,
you're prompted to join the Pro version, and you say yes or you say no.
depending on what you would like to do, you choose. So if you're not a nonprofit and you want to get the Pro version, you will have to pay. And now I'll show you the prices here. So for the basic Canva Pro, it will be 110 euros per year. And here you can choose either to pay monthly or annually.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go down for the nonprofit organizations, you will see this Canva for nonprofits. 1 second, I'll put this in English so that everyone can read. Okay.
So you do not select up at the top, Canva free, 0. You
No,
ignore
this,
that and you scroll down.
yeah, for the
Okay.
nonprofits. You scroll
Okay.
down and you will see this pop up, and you will click apply for Canva nonprofits.
Okay.
Once you click on it, it will start asking the basic questions about your organizations, such as the type of nonprofit. So a registered nonprofit, social impact organization, or an organization for public health. In this case, we will just choose either nonprofit or organization, registered nonprofit organization, or social impact organization. We'll put the country and the ID and the name.
Manuel, can you zero
Yeah.
in on that and make it a little larger so that people can see? I don't know how large it'll let you get. That's better.
Okay. So you will choose the country, and you will put the name of the organization.
Mhm.
In this case, it won't find it, and I'll just click enter. Once you click enter, you'll come on this one, and it will
I'm
ask
sorry,
you
you said that it will find it, or
it may find it, how it could not find it, but it doesn't
okay.
matter. You can just click enter, and it will bring you to this page.
So don't be surprised if suddenly they say, "Oh, we see you, we know you," or "We don't see you, we don't know you." That's not a problem either. Okay.
Yes. Then we complete just all of the other passages. So again, the name.
Yeah, if you could read it out because it's hard to see in that small type. So that is
So
the
organization
name.
name.
Uh-huh.
Website, it's not mandatory, but if you want, you can put it. Then I have, yeah, 1 second. Then you have to put the institution that recognizes you as a nonprofit. In this case, in Italy, it would be Agenzia delle Entrate for us. And then
So when you choose which country it is, sorry to interrupt you all these
yeah,
times. So when you choose your country or your region, it has in its database the entities that recognize you as a
yes,
nonprofit.
yes,
Okay.
they will come up automatically. Or you can also add them if
Okay.
it's not up here.
Okay.
And then you have to put the ID of the organization, such as the tax ID or whatever
Of your
type of
country.
legal ID, no, of the organization.
Right. And
So
that will be specific. The IDs
yes,
will differ depending upon where you operate.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And like for now, I'll just put some random numbers because I can't
Mhm.
remember the hours. And make sure to put the right one because Canva will check this with the institution that registers you as nonprofit to check the eligibility to this program. Oh, actually,
And
the
so
website.
if you're not sure whether you are uh, recognized as a nonprofit or there's some vague status like social impact or something that you could go through this process and you may find when you get to this stage that they do not recognize you. So if you're not sure if they do, go through it because they may
Yeah.
recognize you based upon their criteria. So don't
Mhm.
be timid. Definitely give this a whirl, even if your status is not entirely clear to you how you would fit into this formula.
Okay. So actually, the website is mandatory. So remember to put it
Ah,
in.
okay.
And then you have to put your details. So name and surname. I'll
Of
just
the
put it in.
person keying it in. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And continue. And here you will have to put the official document that you should have that it identifies you as a nonprofit, such as a statute or a bylaw. And I'll just put again here just a random document. And then you select send, and then Canva will revise all of the documents you sent, and in 2 to 3 business days, they should either reject or confirm your request. Okay, so now I'll switch to the actual account with the again with the pro version. Just 1 second. Okay. So once you have the pro version or just the basic version, depends on what you want to do, you will be able to create a team. As you can see here, by clicking on the top right corner, you
Can I
will be
stop
able.
you? Can I stop, Manuel?
Yeah.
Can I stop you for, because what you said was very interesting. So if we had followed through with that submission as a nonprofit entity, that
Mhm.
level of membership is nonprofit pro.
It's a level. It's called. This is all. It's here. Canva Teams. It will
Okay.
automatically go to Canva Teams, and it will be free.
Okay. And it'll be free. So you get all of the benefits that come with Canva Teams, which is, I guess, slightly, well, it looks better in terms of
Yeah,
looking how many check
it's the
marks.
best. It's the best you can get.
Okay. So that's what we have as World Farmers Markets.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
So as I was saying, if you go on the settings, you can go then to your teams to create a team. As you can see, we have our secretariat team. And once you created your team, it automatically creates the first one. You can go on people and invite people here to add to your team. And they will
Is there a limit?
automatically, there is a limit of 100 people. So it's
Okay.
there, you can add whoever
Unlikely
you
that,
want.
yeah. And in fact, that's interesting because we had even thought about opening up the membership for this campaign to all of you under our umbrella. And then we got scared and thought that's crazy. And also it's far better for you to have your own. But if we have our team and our members have their teams, we can invite outsiders. And that is, I guess, ultimately the excitement here is that we can invite others to use our tools.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I interrupted you again.
Don't worry. So to invite people, you will click here on the plus sign, and it will pop up this this window where you can either enter the email address and select the type of role you want to give to that person, and or send them a link to join the team.
And tell us about these different roles that you could be.
Yes, so there are 3 different type of roles. So team admin, where you can manage the team, the brand, and the content. That's it's actually written here. And there's team brand designer that can manage the brands and the templates. And this you will see this with Julia in the next Canva webinar. And then team member that can just access the folders and check the templates and whatever you create.
So if you're a team member, you have the lowest level of interaction or control. You can use the tools, you can access them if you're just a team member. You probably cannot change the templates, but you can create your own versions of the documents and make changes to it there.
Yes.
Okay. But you have access to all the information about the brand, and that is covered, and so
you can
you're not
visualize
having.
you can visualize the information, but you can't edit.
Okay. And for the interpreters, is my interruptions helping or hurting in terms of translating?
Actually, I don't know how to set it down right now.
Okay. Well, I'll try and slow down. Okay, back to you.
Okay, so next, we'll go back to the home page. And here from the home, once you created your team, you can go on projects. And as you can see, we have loads of stuff because we have been working a lot. And in order to create, for example, a shared folder, you can go on Add New here on the right, and select folder. And then you can decide who to share the folder with. So if you want to share with all the team, you can see here your teams and choose whatever you want to let them do. So you can choose if just let them view or also edit. Once you share the folder with them, they will be able to see it on their main page, or on here on the left on this banner, and they will be able to check whatever it is in it. To create new designs, you can click here on the left, create design, and you will have loads of templates and ideas on where to start. You can just write your whatever you want to do, and many templates will come up. Yeah. And yeah, in the next webinar, Julia will also show you how to create a good presentation and how to edit all the materials we will also send you. And yeah, I think that's it. So if you have questions, let us know.
So if you were to think that many of our fellow markets may run a few markets, 5 markets, 10 markets, all under one office. But they may have, and therefore it's a small team and they can share everything. But when you talked about the folders, and show us again where you can create these folders.
Will you go on projects?
Yeah.
Here on the left. And then add new on the right, folder.
So if you were a national association and the national association held the membership and were to share branded communications with their own markets that may be in different parts of the country, this would be a way maybe of each of them having a sub account. So so this is helpful. So in terms of the scalability, this works for a small team as well as for a larger one.
Yeah. Also, in the case of a national team, you can create like more groups, as you can see here. There is the group option. You can create groups and divide the work between the groups and share the folder with different groups. So if you don't want to show a folder to one group, you can do it.
Okay. And so let me ask you this, and by all means, if you have, well, we can stop sharing the screen too, if that helps. In terms of questions and raising your hands, and by all means, put them in the chat, or you could raise your hand digitally. In terms of what we will be providing you with is, if you follow Manuel's instructions, set up your own Canva account. Having done desktop publishing work for many years, I really appreciate how accessible and easy Canva is to use. You don't need to know a whole lot about this work in order to use it, which is great because some of this software can be very complex, especially the Adobe stuff. You will be setting up your own account, account with your own universe of products that you develop. On the other hand, what we'll be doing is sharing with you our account. So Manuel, if I could ask you, if we are creating a folder of useful tools for the campaign, we will be sending them a link, correct, of how to access
Yes.
So
Yes,
walk us a
we
little through about how that will work and how it'll show up on their screen.
okay. So we will send you links to the document to the yes, to the documents that will not be able, and you would, however, you will not be able to edit them. So you will have to create a copy to edit them, and you can do whatever you want on. You can edit it however you want. You will receive it either via email from info@worldfmc.org, or you on your Canva account, you will receive a notification. I will show you right now. I'll share the screen again. As you can see here on the top, there is a bell with the notifications. And you can see here, Via Capriola shared, and you will see this. And if you click on it, you will be able to open the presentation or whatever we will share.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. That makes sense. So so you'll have your own universe. You can save them however you want to save your documents, what folders you want to put them into, but you'll have access to our folder a little bit like a team member. You'll have access to view it and then to make copies of the templates that we are creating. And the copies that you make will be saved in your own folders.
Yeah. Also,
Okay.
in the next days, we will share sort of user guide with all of the steps I just said today to set up the accounts. Just to answer to Faraha's question.
Here's a great question from Faraha. Hello, Faraha. I'm so glad you're here. Manuel, will you be sharing the step-by-step instructions to set
Yes.
up the account in a written format?
Yep. We will send a PDF with all the instructions.
Okay, that's great. And
And
we
also
know.
Sorry, Richard.
Mhm.
Also, the
Yeah,
recording will be available on YouTube in the next days.
right. And we know that it's one thing to see it, it's a whole nother thing to do it. So we will also be available. I mean, we hope not to be drowned with requests, but if you have like, I'm following it, doesn't make any sense. Can you walk me through it one more time? Or it took me to some strange place. We are here as a resource because we do feel that one of the goals of the campaign is to increase all of our capacities to communicate our work more effectively, and that this could be a very good tool.
Yes.
So we're very happy. I mean, it makes us want to know more about Canva. We don't know very much about the company, but they are based in Australia, and we've been very impressed with their customer service. They've been very attentive, and if you've already worked with them, maybe you've noticed this as well. Yeah, and Manuel's just putting the email to direct any questions to in the chat. So info@worldfmc.org. Are there any questions that you choose not to key into the chat, but you'd like to ask? You can certainly raise your hand and unmute yourself. We know that sometimes that is the best way to ask a question, is to ask it directly.
I have a small question. Hi,
Sure.
Rick.
Hi, Cher. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. First of all, what an incredible idea. I'm very happy about this webinar. Very exciting. So kudos to all of you. And I wanted to ask about the following webinars, because Manuel, you mentioned that there will be.
Yeah.
So what will be their subjects? If you can just tell us a little bit.
So if you actually registered to the Google form of the campaign, you should have received an email with some information, also with a Google Excel giving out the dates to the next webinars and and topics. However, there's the next one is on Monday 14th, and it will be with Viola and Julia and Richard, and they will present the methodology kit and the brand kit, and then
For biodiversity. So yes,
yeah,
on Monday, the 14th, we'll be, we're breaking up this campaign into three moving parts, though they're all related. The first one on World Biodiversity Day. So that's the 22nd of May and the week surrounding that, depending on when your market day lands. And we'll be walking you through the tools, the kit that Manuel is describing how you'd find it by having a Canva account. What will that toolkit look like? So that'll be the 14th. And then on April 22nd, that's Earth Day. On the 22nd is Julia will be walking you through the steps of how to use Canva for storytelling. And while that is relevant beyond the biodiversity piece of the campaign, because that comes first, I'm sure we'll focus on that content. And then on the 29th, the issue of photography and video tips for markets. So that will be the 9th, the 14th, the 22nd, and the 29th of April. And which tools she uses for the photography and video, I'm most curious, because many of us are doing it all on phones and on the go, but we'll try and tie it in with how to use this for the campaign. And I think we will have templates built so that you can just slot in your photograph here. So I think she'll be talking about what size to make it and so forth. Is that adequate, Sheer? Okay. Vic, I see your hand up. So by all means, please.
Good evening, good morning, everyone. Very great session for Canva. And I have a questions related to the registration. You mentioned that in case we are the non-profit organization, and then in case we need your help, and then you can set up an account, right? And in the beginning, you mentioned that it will invite people into the team members, and you use the Canva Pro, and then we can be the member, and then we can create the project by ourselves.
Correct.
yes.
And
So
in that case, we have to pay anything?
So for the non-profit, you don't have to pay anything. It's all free. Canva gives it out for free.
No, but in case you invite us as your member in the list of your Canva account as the member, and we have to pay? No. Yes.
Richard, I don't know this one. I don't.
So what we are showing you is a pathway for you to set up a free account going through the nonprofit channel. Once you exist in Canva, you have your own nonprofit account, then we'll be able to invite you to use our tools, and there is no cost because you're already in the Canva system. Now, I think it would be great for you to look at, when you go through this process, do you have the right paperwork, the right tax ID number? What happens if it doesn't recognize you as a nonprofit? And I think that does raise an interesting question. What we would do is, contact us if you run into that problem, for one. As to how we manage it, it might be that someone else from your territory, when you think of our geographic constituencies, Sub-Saharan Africa, Europe, is that there may be whether it's the board member from our territory, each of the territories, or one of the markets in your region, maybe they can share their membership with you as a subset, as a group. That might be a workaround if you are not registered as a nonprofit. And I'm thinking as I'm talking, so I'm trying to think of anticipating if there are problems. Manuel, do you imagine that working as a way of extending the membership?
Yeah, that may work.
Yeah. So if, for instance, you find that Slow Food Vietnam does not have the nonprofit status that you would need in Vietnam, it may be that maybe Ha's organization, Health Bridge of Vietnam, does have that status, and she can set it up, and you ride on those coattails, so to speak. That may be a way to move forward, because I think what we're seeing, and sometimes when you join as a nonprofit version for the sort of freemium, premium, software, that it's not as good. We find this to be the best. It's been outstanding. It's marvelous. So I think we should try and find all of us to be able to go through the nonprofit channel.
Yes, thank you. In that case, we can have some kind of the professional design aspects. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions that we've not addressed? I mean, I know that once it's easy until you start doing it yourself, and then you realize, wait, I didn't follow that. We will be sending out the instructions so that you'll have something to go by. But we did want to at least start the conversation here by showing you, don't be intimidated. Scroll down and you'll see the nonprofit, and then it does really walk you through those steps. And if there are no other questions, thank you so much for joining. I hope this is useful. I'm curious, from just a physical show of hands, how many of you currently have a Canva account? Okay.
I have an account, but it's not active.
Uh-huh.
I will be active in my account. This is a good start.
Yeah.
It's, today this has encouraged me to use it.
Same here.
Well,
Thank you
Same
so
here.
much. Thank you so much.
Well, I do find that, thank you, Piril. When you look at the blank canvas, it's intimidating. But if we provide you with brand colors, some existing artwork, you'll begin to play with it and realize, I can do something very simple. I can substitute, the word that says your farmer's market name goes here by keying in your farmer's market name. And then you publish it, and it'll give you the options of how to publish it, as a ping or as maybe an EPS or a JPEG. And once you've done that, you'll begin to develop some confidence that it's not so difficult. And then you play around with it a little bit more. And I mean, I've worked with many of the Adobe tools that have become so complicated. And when I've started to use Canva, I also use the affinity tools that Canva is actually now related to. And Canva is very simple. So I think very quickly, you play with it, and then all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh, I have to create another sign. Let me see if I can do that. And it's surprisingly easy. So, and anything that helps to project us as looking more professional, more clearly branded, it's important, because the world expects certain levels of communication sophistication. And thanks to Canva, I think we can look pretty sophisticated. Well,
you.
we know that you all have busy days and evenings, so we don't want to keep you any longer than we needed to. Faraha, I see that you have a Canva account, but I have to make sure that it is registered as a nonprofit. Well, if it's not registered as a nonprofit, it may just be the free version. So you might want to set up, and this is something that may be relevant for some of you as well. Oh, I have one. I got the free one. It doesn't do as many things as I wish it would. This is an opportunity to set up maybe a new account with a different email address. I'm not sure, Manuel, you may have some insights on this. If you already have one, but it's just the free version that's limited, is set up a new account with the going through the nonprofit channel. And I think you'll find you'll have many more perks, bells and whistles. Is that correct?
Yeah, or you can also just select the nonprofit account on the payment page, where you can see the plan and prices. You can just
so you
select
can
the
adjust.
nonprofit. Yeah.
So you can adjust your existing account.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. That's far better. And that way we already have too many accounts of everything. So the teams we are supposed to build. Bone, on the issue of teams, you may remember, and we'll go into more detail that if you need to be walked through it, but what Manuel was showing, that once you set up your account, you are then instructed to create a team. You don't have to have more than one team. You could have 10 teams because you have, the markets in the southern part of your country and the markets in the northern part. But you're expected to, and I think you're required to create a team. And that means you're able to share the tools that you build with a number of email addresses. So if you have 3 people in your office, you'd want them all to be members of that team. You may only ever have one team. That's okay. But that is how they identify this is not just a tool that one person uses, but it's a tool that an organization uses. So your team may only have one person in it. And I think that's allowed, right, Manuel?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can be a team of one, but that is the language with which they identify who is authorized to use this account of Canva. All right. Manuel, thank you so much for walking us through what is always the intimidating process of, do I click? Do I not click? Have I signed my life away if I click this way versus that way? I hope that everyone feels that he helped to demystify some of that process. We will share this recording, and we will also prepare a step-by-step printout of how you click through to set up your nonprofit account with Canva in order to participate in our campaign, and also in order to hopefully expand your ability to communicate your work to the world. Thank you, Manuel and Julia, for being here and walking us through these steps. Thank you so much to the interpreters for helping us communicate beyond just English language. And we're very grateful to have you here as well. And so happy to see so many of you. This is a good glimpse of us changing the world by counting all of the great things we do in markets. All right. Well, goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
And
Richard.
we'll see
Thank you.
you on Monday.
Thank you.
See you
Richard.
soon.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.